And welcome, everyone, to This Is Difficult, home of the world-renowned ranked Mario golf player, Lord Yeshua. That's right. You're a world-famous podcast watcher now. Yes, we're actually famous, guys. I made it.
Yeah, now first of all, what's your rank?
Yeah, 180th in the world.
Okay, that's
Pretty
actually
incredible,
very respectful.
right, guys?
Respectable,
Pretty
but
great.
now
Josh is going pro.
Just how many hours did you have to put into it? And
just
how
like
many times did you spam our
hours.
Discord this week?
Only
I'm in like 2,000th place.
Until like 2 a.m. Like nothing.
I mean, it was kind of incredible though. Let's
my rise to glory.
It was fun to watch because he went from like he was ranked like 6,000. He's like, this is crazy. I'm already ranked 6,000, and then like a few minutes later, he's like, guys.
Damn.
I'm in the 5,000s. Like, and we're like, let's see how far he could go with this. We were joking about it, and he actually broke into the top
hundreds,
200.
Yeah.
Like I was
realistically, it took me like 7-8 hours between my 3 days off. Yeah.
I was
like really casually playing it though, like, which is ironic. Like I just am good at that game, I think.
I was firmly expecting to sit here like, Richard Hammond and be like, so how far did you drop when you stopped playing overnight? But he didn't. He didn't drop.
No, I dropped so I got down to like 450, like 480, and then I was up to like 650 in the morning, and then I like went back down to that's when I went back down to 180.
Oh,
well, it's disgusting.
Lord Yeshua, everybody, one of your co-hosts.
But this is did I introduce us completely?
You did not.
No, you didn't.
I was going to take it over if you go for it. Do it.
Oh, yeah. We're that's me, Lord Yeshua, your co-host. This is Difficult to Podcast. As you can see, very difficult indeed.
Difficult to get through an intro.
All we do is game and talk about that shit. So, Lord Yeshua, I'm Josh. We're on Paul Ryugami-san's channel. Another letdown over there. It's Zach himself in the flesh. And here we are to talk about things. Paul, lead us our leader of things.
Yeah, excellent. Well, guys, welcome to the show. How was your week? Did you play games? Did you have exciting times?
Did I? Played a lot of games.
Did I ever? I didn't actually play very much. But,
no exciting real life
busy
times.
Week for other reasons.
I had a busy week, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Josh, tell us about your week, man.
Oh, boy, did I game. Yes, there I was, painting the town red. No, let's see. I played okay, first of all, I finished my script. So I wrote a children's, it's like a Y14, I would call it, like anime style Americanized cartoon. And I wrote a pilot episode for it that's like 22 minutes long and fully detailed. And
did you send that info to my brother?
I did not send it to him yet because I think I need to touch up. So some of the narration is a little childish. I'm like kind of like riffing it with like the narration, which won't.
Is there a joke about the Nile being a river in Egypt?
No, I wish. Oh, I should have done some cornier shit. So okay, if there's we'll see. I'll send it to Adam though. Well, let me clean it up a little bit more, but it's basically done. So and then I gamed a lot, and so let's see. What didn't I play? So I played some Mario Galaxy. I'm in the purple coins. It sucks. Man, it's so hard. I got like 3, and then I was like, nope. Skyward Sword. Damn, I played that, but damn, this game is not high in replay value. I hate to say, as someone who is on it's like my 5th playthrough. It might even be my 4th playthrough. Like 100%ed it in 2011, and then I played it again, and then I streamed it twice, I think. So okay, this is my 5th playthrough of the game. And you'd think, like, okay, that's not that much. I played Ocarina of Time like 10 times this year. And, like, no, it's just not. It doesn't have the same level of no-fat quality that I, like, really appreciate in a Zelda. That is something that I actually do. Okay, we're not talking about Zelda here, but I do think Breath is in a direction where there's, like, no fat if you want it, which is really nice, where, like, Skyward Sword has a lot of required story. And so, and not even that the story's bad, but a lot of required side shit too. Yeah. That I'm like, okay, I kind of wish I could just like go to the thing and then go to the thing. Go to the thing.
I feel like that's most Zelda games though. You have like your trade quests and stuff.
I know. And that's cool, but I can even 100% Ocarina of Time in like 15 hours though. I could just beat it in like 8 hours, which is like, even the average person can beat it in like 12 to 13 hours, I think.
Yeah, it's not long.
Skyward Sword is like a 25-hour game, 30 hours and like 60 if you're 100%ing it. So it's like really a long game, and I'm not like mad at it, but it's just not.
It does make it harder to replay.
I'm realizing it's harder for me to pick up.
Marathon game, like my favorite game probably of all times is Shining Force 2 and Final Fantasy IV, both of which are long ass games. Final Fantasy IV especially is fucking
and I love
long.
A long game.
And they're so good, but I've only ever finished those games each like maybe 3 or 4 times
don't get me wrong,
over the course of my lifetime.
These are,
but they're my favorite games.
I'm going to add replayability to our topic list because that's something we really
topic.
should go deep on at some point.
It is not necessarily important for every game, I will say, but for some games, I like to eat Zelda games, and like this one is kind of harder for me to consume than I realized it would have been.
Did you play anything else?
I love it. So yes, I also played Smash Bros. Again. I'm back, baby.
Hey.
I am bad with Bowser in 1v1, but good with Falco in 1v1. So I did a little bit of ass whooping, and then I played a lot of Mario Golf, to which I ranked up amazingly.
Dude,
we're proud of you, man.
Josh is going pro. He's going to be on the MPGA tour.
MGA tour.
Yeah, when Tramali was like, I've never even gotten a birdie, I was like, is that average? Is like average to nail every shot? I feel like maybe I do have some talent in the game. And honestly, it's because it feels so much like Toadstool Tour, and I've been playing this game since I was like realistically, that was like 2006. So I've really been playing this style of golf games for a really long time, and that's why I'm good at this new one. Dude, I played more too. Pokemon Snap came out with an update. So first of all, Mario Golf came out with an update. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is a ranked online mode now. So if you own Mario Golf, I am actually going to boost it up a few points. I'm going to make it a solid 8 now with the ranked mode, Mario Golf. Nice. So this actually adds a lot of replayability to the game, where you can at least see where you are, and it actually scales your skill level. So I'm only playing with pros, like amazing skilled players. And if you're not as good or you're better, you only play with people in your rank. So this is actually a really genius way of doing it. Just literally making
exactly what you were saying was missing from the game.
Literally, and I was like, it's literally. It random every 35 minutes. It randomizes the courses. You play like a random variety. There's like Donk City now is like a bunch of par 3s, it like so everyone's playing the same shit, and it's just you play it, random people, and you do 3 holes on a random course, and it can be any 3 holes, and it's really dope. So I think it's dope. You can consume it in like 10 minutes now or less. It's like sometimes 5-minute matches if everyone's like really going fast, and you can do speed golf version. I only do the standard golf, so I don't know how good I would be in the other versions, but I don't want to have to like deal with my side stats and like like all that shit, like my knee character and like all that, because I think that's what it is with speed golf, or like maybe it's just like who's the fastest. Everyone uses Yoshi or some shit. But and then one more thing. What did I say? Pokemon Snap came out with a free update. This is awesome. Pokemon Snap was already a high-scoring game for me. This doesn't necessarily increase its score for me, but these are some awesome new levels. Definitely more good shit to see. Like I literally was just chilling on my day off, and I was like, I'm just gonna play each level once just to see if it's worth it, because that was like 15 minutes of my life. And I just played through all 3 levels, and then I was like, these are fucking awesome. I ground through a bunch of them, and I like didn't get to level 2 on any of them. But I plan on now, like getting, I've already maxed out all my other levels in the game, so I want to max out these because different shit happens.
That's also just a good faith move on Nintendo's part.
Agreed.
It really is. If they're going to support it like that, like just give us L level every now and again. It really does increase the rate.
That's awesome.
A game I already thought was complete in my mind, and I already was like, damn, another level, when we were unlocking them in the game, and now to just be given 3 levels for free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It also vastly surpassed the original game. It sounds like
it already vastly surpassed. It's literally like 2,500 of the original in one. I can't even.
That's awesome.
No, it's so much more refined. So this is the photography genre now. Is Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap? Good. It literally nailed it. It's great. Yeah. Ironically, like one of the better rail shooters in its day and age now. So, yeah.
Very cool. Funny. Yeah, that's so funny. It kind of is a rail shooter.
It kind of is a rail shooter.
Literally a rail shooter.
That's hilarious.
Like, you got this many points for killing that guy. It's like, you got this many points for a Butterfree looking that good.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
So those are the games I played. Consumed a lot. It was awesome. Good
Very
time
cool.
to play.
Zach, how about you, man? How was your week?
It was good. I didn't play all that much. I mean, I did. I finished Skyward Sword.
You finished Skyward Sword.
I did, and I will keep my opinions until such time as Paul is ready to review it, and then we can all kind of review it together. I enjoyed most of it. I'll say that.
How good does it feel to have gotten to the end, though?
It feels really good. It feels really good.
See, that's the thing, is like that there is a feeling associated with beating this game that is really good, but it's like me and Colin said, it's like giving birth. You have a beautiful baby at the end, but oh boy, does it rip you up.
Yeah. So, oh my god.
I've enjoyed every second of it so far, but I'm not.
That's good. I'm glad. Honestly, my first playthrough, I enjoyed every second of it. It was only on replays that I didn't enjoy at all. Only on and same with Breath of the Wild. Like it's a similar type of thing.
Yeah.
So, Alex and I got back to playing Gears Tactics, and oh my god, we had some nail biter moments.
Nice.
There were just some awesome bits where we were pinned down, and we were like, "Oh man, I don't know how we get out of this," and like clutch, some random duder would miss, and we'd be like, ah! And like you could hear us yelling into the mics and getting really excited about it because we're now at point blank range on this dude who is notoriously difficult to bring down, and I've got a sniper at like a sniper up on the stairwell, and a guy with a heavy weapon like trained on him, going to bring him down.
Gonzo.
It was so cool, and we realized that
was that the one that you clipped?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on in that clip.
Yeah, it was so I was making a bunch of references because we had. I was actually just about to say this. The game generates random NPC allies for you, and their names are they all come with a nickname, and we got two characters, who with the nickname Duck.
Duck.
Like, I don't think that's supposed to happen.
If you had a goose, that would have been great.
That would have been fantastic.
I think we may have a goose coming. I think there might be like a named character called Goose.
Duck,
I'm not 100% certain about that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Duck Goose would be really funny.
I would love that. Yeah.
But there's a movie series that Alex and I are both very fond of, where ducks are kind of like this recurring motif. So all the references I was making, Paul, that you didn't understand, were all to that film franchise.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
But it was really cool. It felt really really fun. I mean, just whenever you get into a game situation where you're like, I don't honestly know how this plays out. Like, I think mistakes were made, and I think we're just gonna have to back up and restart. And then you get out of it. It feels so good. Obviously, it's dumb luck that saved our necks there, but it was really just awesome. A really cool experience. And then I've been watching a lot of Top Gear again lately, especially while I play Skyward Sword. So I was like, I'm just gonna jump back and do a couple of races in the Grand Tour game, just for fun. We talked a few weeks ago about chill games, and that is definitely one of them for me. I can just pop in because it's not a serious racing game. It's extremely tongue in cheek. It's three old guys racing around in cars. And I was like, this is a racing game that is my speed exactly.
Perfect.
Pun intended. So
I get you.
Yeah. So the Grand Tour game, joke. real simple. Dive right in. Turned on the Xbox for the first time in forever. Just to do a quick race. And that was a lot of fun.
Never turn it on again.
Paul, how about you? What did you get to do this week, if anything?
I had stuff going on this week. I don't even remember why I didn't stream on Tuesday and Wednesday, to be quite honest, but I had stuff going on. So I did not stream on Tuesday and Wednesday, which is, obviously when I normally get most of my video game time in. I also, didn't do Samurai Saturday as I would have normally done, because my wife actually had surgery on Friday, and so just chilling with her, making sure she's okay, the whole bit. I did, however, get some game time in. I played the Pokemon Unite just about every day, mostly to get my dailies, but I'm still really enjoying that game. Like, it's pretty fun, and it's an easy game for me to just pick up and do one game is 10 minutes. So I can just bang out 10-minute game and, there you go, get back to doing whatever I was doing, whatever. So
it's 10-minute game. Yeah.
Usually, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's been really nice. The other thing that I've spent way too much time on is Digimon.
Damn, dude.
I've become addicted to these things. I've got 1 million of them now.
Oh no! What have you done?
Not a million. I only have 4 of the proper devices. But anyway, I also may or may not have ordered what's called a ACOM. They've got ACOMs and DCOMs. They're basically the same thing, but it's something that I'll be able to hook up to my computer. And then, do you see the little connection guys on there?
Wow.
That's how you connect to each other's Digimon, but I can connect this to the
intervention
computer and upload my Digimon into my computer, into this like online deal. I'm very excited about that. That should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna because it's all homebrew stuff, so like we'll see if I can stream any of that. I wonder. I'll have to talk. I'm in the Discords and everything.
Digimon.
So,
I hope so. That'd actually be kind of cool.
I might do it. We'll see. I mean, it really just depends on.
You could be literally the Digimon streamer, by the way, and like make $1 jillion because no one's doing that.
One of the
Digimon Tuesdays.
Yeah, one of the whatchamacallits, one of the Discords I'm in is like the most prominent Digimon YouTuber.
Oh wow!
So I don't know if he streams or not, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see if that's something that I can do. I don't know that I want to like make Digimon my thing per se, but I am really enjoying it, and it's making me curious about some of the like proper Digimon games that have been released on consoles and stuff.
Dude, I got an OG set of the cards. I have the first set, all first edition.
Oh my god, I had those when those were so cool.
The only card I ever had was the one that I got from going to the movie, the Digimon movie when it first came out, the very first one. Yeah. I had that. I don't have it anymore.
Dude, I have a mint set. Anyone who's interested.
Dude, you could probably sell it for a lot in this freaking Discord.
In this day and age, yeah. Oh yeah.
Trying to think if I played anything else this week. I don't think I did. I think that's pretty much all I played this week. Yeah, because I mean it was a busy week for me, so didn't spend a whole lot of time. I am excited to get back into Skyward Sword. But yeah, I didn't get to do any of that. Some cool, exciting things though. My brother moved to town, so we'll probably do some streams together. In fact, on my birthday, which is a week from Tuesday, I've got that day off, so I'm gonna be spending all day playing games with Adam. Like I'm gonna bust out the 64. We're gonna do some Nintendo 64 stuff. We might do some other things, maybe some brawlers, because we do the Brawler Bros thing. But he's excited about like not only doing that, but maybe more often just coming down and streaming with me down here. So
dude, he's in.
That should be rad. I'm pretty excited about it.
He's back.
So yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on. Before it will not be a 24-hour B-Day stream. It's in the middle of the week. I do have to work that week. I took one day off, so I'm not doing it. There's no way in hell. Also, my wife would stab me if I did that. So
yeah, she would kill you.
I hope honestly we can find a way to do like a couple of drop-ins from others.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what we're playing, but I would love to do that. So yeah, we might be able to work that out where we can switch up to a game that you guys can drop in on, or even just like drop in and chat.
Yeah,
that's an option too.
3D World. Let's play some 3D World. Never beat it.
No. Pass.
Josh,
playing 3D. I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh. Playing 3D World with you and Colin is way more stressful than it is fun. Because you guys go 1,000 miles an hour. It's not fun. Like
it's the only way to play full throttle.
It's not fun. No. Like it doesn't feel cooperative. It feels very competitive, and it feels like a fucking race that like I am not prepared to.
Bring you with us.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Sure.
That's actually okay.
Yeah, if you're literally carrying me, that would be a lot more fun.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
We can do that.
Yeah,
something different.
Something different.
Animal Crossing. Let's go to each other's towns.
Yeah,
just chill.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait,
I don't own Animal Crossing. But we can figure some stuff out. We can talk about it. I mean, we got a whole week and a half before that happens.
In the meantime, we got a review, don't we?
Appearances. Yeah, we do have a review. I want to mention one thing before the review, and we're gonna keep this under 5 minutes. And I'm looking at the clock right now. It's 8:27 my time. There has been some very persistent Zelda rumors that have been going around.
Setting the clock now.
And I feel like the only reason I'm mentioning this is because Nintendo has come out and said, they said this at E3 that they had no other Zelda campaigns planned. Okay,
they said in front of everyone, all the other companies.
Well, the thing is
a known statement, right?
Yeah. The reason I have a problem with this is like they've said it's not for the 35th anniversary. Even if these leaks are true, it's not for the 35th anniversary because that's next year is not the 35th anniversary. You know,
which is what they released
like a week or
3D
two.
World this year, and last year was Mario's 35th.
So that was pandemic
True,
related.
but they also announced it like it was a big thing. They would have announced it, you know.
No, they didn't announce it by this time, actually. So we didn't get.
No, you're right. They didn't announce it by this time.
They announced it like now.
But
like
they
it was
straight
like
up
right now,
denounced it, is what I'm saying. They straight up denounced
They straight
it.
up said, no, this is not a thing.
So, and that's why, like, I wanted to mention it because we talked about it.
In the works. They might have already finished the games.
Okay, maybe. That's a stretch.
So, Josh, that's so pedantic.
Here's the thing. Like, you know, we've brought those rumors up before. And, you know, they were exciting to us. The reason I wanted to bring it up is because, like, I think it's worth mentioning that there's still stuff coming out, like, leaking through. Yeah. But because Nintendo, until we get, like, an official word from Nintendo, we've spent enough time speculating on that stuff. I feel like we just need to, you know, on that. Yeah. So that's the official statement. We're going to mix it,
but I want to say that I think it is all true. And I hope
that's fine. You
everything.
Can believe that. I'm definitely at a wait and see stance now.
Wait and see. I feel it.
That all being said, let's get into that. Hey, that was under 5 minutes. Let's get into that review. So let me switch over here.
Who's doing
this week? So this week I am reviewing Nioh 2. We've reviewed Nioh 1 in the past, and I was so in love with it that I made sure when it came out on PC that I picked up Nioh 2. This game it's a sequel, but it's actually technically a prequel to the original Nioh game.
I see you.
And it, like, I didn't think that Nioh could be improved upon until I played Nioh 2. Honestly, like, in fact, I was even a little bit discouraged by the fact that you didn't have, like, a set protagonist. You created your own character, which I get some people are into that, but I really liked, you know, the fact that the first game did a really good job of following, like, Japanese history and stuff with all this, like, fantastical shit jammed into it, and had, like, historical, you know, characters. And so I was disappointed to see that we weren't going to be playing as a historical character. But the way they did it, I think, was really, really well done. And they also managed to still, you know, like, still continue the story in reverse from the original, right? Like, it adds on to the story, you know, as a good prequel should, and gives you all the background that you would want going on. Not the main character from the first one, obviously, but all the supporting characters from the first one, which is very cool. Definitely following kind of like the story of Nobunaga and Hideyoshi, which is, you know, they're obviously the most important, you know, figures, or two of the most important figures in the Sengoku period, the Warring States period in Japan. Kind of kicked that shenanigans off. So, really awesome. But then on top of that, like, on top of the story beats being very cool and being very well done, in fact, I think the story's much easier to follow in this one because there's, like, a cutscene almost every mission. There's you know, it's just like, it's an easier to follow story than Nioh 1. Nioh 1's a little convoluted. It's a little more difficult to follow, and especially because of the difficulty of the game, you end up playing the same level so often that you forget what's going on in the story. And when you finally get to the end of that,
that's really frustrating.
I hate that.
But the nice thing is, going from Nioh 1 to Nioh 2, you're already ready for that, right? You're already used to the play style.
Okay,
that's fair.
On top of that, they give you a bunch of tools to improve your combat, right? Like, there's more weapons, there's better skill trees. There's what else? You know, they changed the way that your super or your alt works, which that's actually one of the changes that I'm not super keen on, but it's way more customizable. And then one of the probably the coolest change is, like, they kind of implement almost like a Pokemon kind of aspect to it, where you can collect the souls of the demons that you defeat and then use them in combat, as long as you have enough like magic to do so, which is really
that's
cool.
really neat.
That's pretty dope.
It's really cool. So, you know, like they've done everything that you need to do to make a successful sequel plus some. So this was just a really easy game for me to jump into and enjoy and love, to be honest. And I actually, you know, again, I didn't expect this to happen, but I like this game more than the first one. Like I love this game. And this is so far, I realized this game didn't come out this year. Technically it did on PC. It came out in February on PC, which is when I played through this. So, you know, it's my game of the year so far. Now at the end of the year, we're not going to count that because technically this game came out in March of 2020 on the PS4, but the PC release was February of this year. So, but god damn, is it fucking good? It is fucking good. Let's go through just the points, the talking points we normally do. What did I like about the game? Well, like I said before, just like their ability to really improve on every aspect of what made the first one good. You know, just made this such a fucking enjoyable experience. What did I not like about the game? So, the one thing that I didn't like about this game that I didn't even really notice about it until actually playing the new, like, the demo for the new Final Fantasy game, that is in this same engine. And that is that it's the same engine as the first one, which is not necessarily a problem, but it's kind of an aging engine. You know, it doesn't look as good.
Is it?
Huh?
What engine is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like an improved version of the Ninja Gaiden engine.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That is old.
So like it is, yeah, it's not a new engine. Oh, there, I'm big.
He's a big boy.
Anyway, I must have just died in the gameplay. Yeah, so that was, I think, retrospectively speaking, one of the things I don't like about the game. But as far as like, as I was playing it, I couldn't even really name a thing that I didn't really like about the game. Maybe that the new skill trees are a little convoluted, a little hard to follow, but they're still an improvement on the original one. So I can't be mad about that.
Admittedly, building skill trees is one of the most difficult parts of character and game development design.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Like Gears Tactics is giving us the same problem. We cannot follow it, but like once we get a handle on a specific character, it starts to make a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and figuring out what builds and stuff, that's never really been my thing, but it is kind of fun, and there's like a million different like really cool builds you can do in this game, which is cool. Dude, another thing they added to this game, which is like such a nice touch that they didn't have to add and they did, and it's cool, is you've got living weapons. You've got these weapons that are possessed by demons, and they'll talk to you. They'll talk to you as you're like killing stuff. And they'll also like, you know, once they've reached a certain point, you'll get like this radiance on your weapons and they'll like do extra damage and stuff like that. Like, it's really cool. Yeah.
That's
pretty sick.
Yeah, Chamali was really into those. Our producer, he really liked those weapons. They're very cool. Let's see. How's the gameplay? Is it fun? Of course it is. It's definitely like a Souls-like, but with kind of more of like a Ninja Gaiden, more crisp combat than the typical kind of like sluggish Souls combat. How is the art? It's fantastic, though a little bit aged. That's kind of one of the problems. But the aesthetic of the game is gorgeous. Like, you know, it is really a great looking game. It's, you know, in feudal Japan. Everything's got like that cool, like, you know, like yokai fucking like Japanese mythology vibe to it. A little bit dark, you know. But then there's always like, dude, there's parts of the games where you'll be in like this beautiful sunny field and everything's golden and beautiful. Like, it looks great. So, you know, the art is good, though a little bit aged. How's the music? Music's good. Again, kind of like, I'm pretty sure I felt the same way about the first one. There's not necessarily like anything that that there's not like a Mario theme. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like running through my head. But it's super appropriate for the setting, right? Like anytime you're in an intense battle, you've got like good intense battle music that like gets you hyped up for what you're doing. And you know, in other times it's a little more subdued. It's good enough not to notice, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it certainly isn't bad. And it does a good job of setting the tone, you know. What were we saying, Zach?
I said that's really high praise. That's what you'd expect out of that kind of game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think so too. Sound design is good, though I'm trying to think if there's like any difference in like the sound from the original, as far as like the sounds the weapons make and things like that, the sounds that the enemies make, which not that you need to change them. And these games did come out fairly close together. There's only like a year or two apart, you know, in these two games. So, you know, I wouldn't say that's a criticism per se, that the sound wasn't necessarily improved from the first one, but you know, it just wasn't to my knowledge.
Nioh came out in 2017.
Okay, you're right. Okay, 3-year gap. So yeah, you would think in 3 years, even though like, you know, 3 years is not enough time to build a whole new engine, but it, you know, there's certain like quality of life stuff that you could change, which they did as far as like the combat and stuff was concerned, right? Like very much so. But did they really change any of the sound design? No. Is that a problem? Was the sound design bad to begin with? No, it wasn't. So like,
it's all good.
Yeah. Let's see. How long did it take me to beat? You could probably beat this game like just the main story. I still haven't beaten all of the expansions, which are very good, by the way. The expansions are really fucking good, just like the first one. But it probably took me 30 hours, and that's a guess. Honestly, I beat this back in, you know, February or March, and so it's hard for me to say how long it actually took me to beat the main story. But it's not super long, it's not super short. I think it's around, it might be a little longer than the first one, which is good. That's a good thing, I think. You know, usually you get a sequel, especially one that came out as soon after the original did. I know, you know, 3 years isn't that soon, but you know, you would think a lot of times it's a shorter game, you know, like if someone's half-assing it, and that's not the case here.
Paul, I do have a quick fact check for you. Team Ninja did, for Nioh 1, did use the same engine that they used on Ninja Gaiden. They did actually make a new one for Nioh 2 based on Dynasty Warriors 9.
Interesting.
Yep.
Dynasty Warriors 9. What a interesting one to pick.
Damn.
That's also strange to me, God, because it feels so goddamn like the same engine. You know,
I mean, obviously they retailed it completely, so it's still
my guess is what they did was they took the Ninja Gaiden engine and they made Nioh, right? Made some tweaks to it for Nioh. Then they took that engine, made some tweaks to it for Dynasty Warriors 9, and then took that engine and made tweaks to it for.
What I'm reading is a lot of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, yeah. I'm being fact checked as well, so it looks like they wanted to go with Dynasty Warriors, but then they ended up retooling and continuing to improve and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Gotcha.
So it looks like these are facts.
Once again, you come to our channel for made up facts about video games.
Yeah,
well,
where the facts are made up and the points don't matter.
We quickly Google the answers and have as much info as you do.
Jamali wasn't getting me an answer fast enough, so I took it into my own hands, and then I got it wrong.
I dig. I respect it anyway. I appreciate the try there. Yeah, and I wasn't looking at the live notes either, so it's all good. Where were we? Schling ding 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 ding. So was the game difficult? Absolutely, but not necessarily in a bad way. I would say there's probably maybe 2 bosses in the game that are absurdly difficult that I don't feel good about. Like there's not really a good way to beat them without cheesing the fuck out of them, which still
sucks.
isn't easy to do. They're kind of unfair bosses, which I think is a design flaw in games like this. You know, the one thing that can be said about like the Souls games is just about every one of the bosses like has a critical weakness, has a, you know, like a unique pattern that you can, you know, figure out at some point that will allow you to defeat that boss. And most of the game, or most of the bosses in the Nioh games, you know, operate the same way, with a few exceptions. And like, that's kind of a bummer. But not game breaking, you know, it doesn't ruin it. I know you probably see me dying a million times.
I was about to say this video is just you dying, I feel like.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit.
It's fun.
I beat that guy eventually, I promise.
Probably eventually.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, but that's the thing. I mean, that's how these games are. You die a lot. You go in there, you die a lot, you figure shit out. Like, that's the whole point of the game. And that's, you know, what's enjoyable about them, I would say. Would I play a sequel? Absolutely. This is the sequel, obviously, to the first one. I don't believe they're gonna make one. They
said, I saw a thing that said that the story is over.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but like, you know,
that's not exactly what they said. They basically said they wanted to take a break from Nioh, and that this continuity was over. They didn't rule out like making a new Nioh game that takes place in a totally different continuity, but
it is a Nioh.
But yeah, I mean, they're going on right now. They're working on that Final Fantasy game, so which I really think they need to, like, I thought it was good, the demo that I played, but they need to really improve the engine. I think it feels aged, you know. So we'll see what they do with that. Yeah, all around impression. I don't remember what score I gave the original. But I would give this a solid, you know, 0.5 more than I gave the original. I'm gonna say a 9.5 on this one. I know that's a really high score. I know I'm like really against giving everything too high of a score right now, and I might have given the original a 9.5. But you know, like that was before I really changed my philosophy on game scoring.
Only Nintendo games get over 9.
But you know, I would say the original is a solid 9. This is a solid 9.5. Like, it's a solid 9.5.
Nice. You know what might be kind of cool is if we went back through all the stuff we reviewed before our scale, and actually put it together. Like, no, this game is actually this number based on what we're actually writing down.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we could do that as like a end of the year kind of thing. Like, go back over like our reviews and kind of like rehash them a little bit. Adjust for inflation. Yeah, exactly. So final note on that: is the game worth buying at the current full price, or wait for a sale? Skip. Here's the thing. Yes, I think it's worth buying at full price, but this goes on sale like twice a year. So if you're interested and you can wait for it to be on sale, highly recommend doing it. And like right now, you can get, if you haven't played either of the games, you've got like the definitive edition or whatever on PC and PS5 and PS4, right? So you could get both of these games for like, you know, $25-$30, I want to say, when it goes on sale, which is a fucking steal, and it's super worth it. So what I would say, if you're interested in playing these games, just keep an eye out for a sale. If you can wait, if you can't wait, go buy it full price. It's still worth it, you know. Especially the definitive edition. It's like $55 or $60 for both of these games. Fucking, you know, it's fantastic. But it does go on sale like twice a year. So, but that wraps it up. 9.5, damn near perfect game. Fucking enjoy it. That's Nioh 2.
And it's worth noting that Paul had a lot of fun playing it too. It was very clear watching.
Especially, you know what I didn't mention? Probably the best improvement of Nioh 2 in general is the co-op. The co-op is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
The co-op Yeah, it's such a huge improvement from the first one. The first one is very similar to Dark Souls. You have to, drop your stupid thing on the ground, and if everyone dies, it fucks up everything for everyone, and you got to invite these ghosty bullshits, and it sucks. And you can also only have one person in at a time until like you get to the end game. There's like there's an end game area where you can get multiple homies with you. In this, from the jump, you can do like these, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like an adventure mode where you can just go into every single mission, like chronologically or whatever, with two homies, like from the jump. And so you're not like locked out from anything. As long as you're progressing through the game together, you're going to be unlocking those next levels. In the previous one also, you had to like have beaten that level first before you could go back and help out a homie, right? So like if I was playing with Merktool or Chamali and I needed help on a level, they would have had to have beaten that level before I did to be able to come in and help me with it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's not the case in this. You can just team up from the jump. It's very cool. So like that's probably the best improvement overall, I would say. But yeah, still sticking with that score, 9.5. It's incredible. Definitely do what you can to check out this game if you like this style of, very brutal, very, meticulous and difficult Souls-like action.
If you're not me.
Yeah.
I like it sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. But
anyway, that is it. Let's switch back. I put the swingies back on there. We were missing the swingies for a minute.
Swings.
Cool. Yeah, who wants to lead us into the topic here?
Which is, I know what it is.
Yeah.
You wait, Josh knows what a topic is before we talk about it?
I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
All right, the topic this week is where can games go past graphics? So, like, to iterate on that a little bit, like, we've gotten to a point with PC gaming and with console gaming as well, that, like, the graphics might not be getting much better than this. And we'll see some incremental, improvements, but, like, they look great. So, like, what's going to take us to the next level now, right? No pun intended.
It's easy. It's the ASMR and like all that shit, and we're gonna have like the most immersive like environmental sound. Isn't that what means? You can like hear in like 3 dimensions. Yeah.
Mario's like licking the microphone and the.
Oh my god!
What are you talking about?
First of all, I don't want to be anywhere near that, Paul. Sorry, I don't need Charles.
That's not what ASMR. Oh no, ASMR is just like when you can hear the sound in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, so that's existed for a while, though. You're right. You're right, and that's something that Sony has really, really invested in with the PS5. I haven't been able to take advantage of it because my PS5's hooked up to my computer, and I get the sound coming out of my computer, not my PS5, and it doesn't recognize like the 3D audio. But I'm working on a solution for that. But for the moment, I haven't been able to experience that. But from what I know, that's one of the things that people are praising the most about the PS5 is the 3D sound is allegedly fucking incredible, like absolutely, like super realistic.
That's awesome.
That's a really good point, Josh. I recently, so this is a new pair of headphones ish. I got them at the top of the year, and they do have 3D audio capability.
Yeah, so do
I
these.
don't know that I've played any games that. I mean, maybe Arkham Knight has it because I do feel like there's noises coming from behind me when I'm playing it, but that might just be my immersion in the game. I love Batman, so like I may be imagining that. I don't know.
I feel like some games do just have that. Actually,
I feel like they just have that naturally.
Dude, there was 3D audio going all the way back to the Super Nintendo. So
okay, so it's very possible then.
Like in Ocarina of Time, even there's like fucking
Ocarina of Time is actually one of the examples of like the best 3D audio on the Nintendo 64. Yeah, there's a few like really good like Dolby surround sound games on this.
Like Soraya Song. All that shit. Oh, it was Dolby. That's right. Yeah.
Dolby. Oh my god.
Dolby loved the N64. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Shit.
And that whole era. Remember when you booted up your was it the PlayStation 2? And you get that awesome like
Dolby thing.
blast of sound that hits around you. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And it was just like you turn the thing on. You're not even playing a game yet, and it gives you this cool audio.
So I think 3D audio certainly does help, and there are games that do it exceptionally. Like Merc brought up in the chat, The Hunt Showdown. Have you guys played that game?
No.
Oh man. So this game is like kind of like a hybrid like PvEVP battle royale kind of. It's kind of are you guys familiar with Escape from Tarkov or no? Okay, doesn't matter. So in this game, your goal, you go in with your squad. I think you can have a squad of up to 3 people, maybe 4, I don't remember. But you go into the area to hunt down demons, right? There's like 2 or 3 demons in the area that you have to hunt down. You get a map. There's like cool mystic bullshit that you can do to find them. And your goal is to hunt down those demons, extract their souls, and get the fuck out, right? And so if you're if you're good at what you're doing, you might not even encounter another team, right? So it's not like your traditional battle royales where you're definitely trying to kill everyone else, right? But there still is that element. And like if you're extracting, like people will know where you are, so they might come try and hunt you down or whatever. So, but that's the basic premise of the game. Has nothing to do with what's really cool about it, which is the 3D audio in that game is fucking incredible. Everything makes a sound, and everything has like really good directional sound. So you can like hear someone like bumping into chains, like you know exactly where it is, right? If it happens like right behind me, like or like right over there in the corner, I know it's in the corner because that's where I heard it, right? And like it's so like without experiencing it, it's really honestly very hard to explain how well done it is, but it's fucking incredible. It's one of the coolest gaming experiences I've had. And I'm not even really into that style of game, but like it really elevates that to another level, especially if you have good sound equipment to play it with, If you have real shitty earbuds, it might not be as fun, but with good 3D audio, it's nice. But that all being said, I do think 3D audio has been around for a while. We're aware of it. Like, I don't think it's really driving forward the experience. Past like, it's helping. But
will happen to it, and it will continue to be good. But I don't think it's going to be what continues to make games good.
Yeah.
I would. My question, and the reason I brought up the Grand Tour game is because I wasn't going to mention it. I played it for such a brief amount of time. Are we getting back to the point where we are like that full motion video, but actually like articulated full motion video? So you like literally full body scan of a person, an actor. And then you are manipulating that actor in
like if graphics aren't enough, you have to do real life. Like the only thing more real than graphics is real life,
is real people.
And if you can program in every movement, a real person like me, just with green dots on me, but it's just me, no green suit. And you just track every single one of my movements. Like I do everything you can possibly imagine. And this person's in the green room.
I mean, we've kind of had that with like what was the Xbox thing called? The
Kinect?
The Kinect.
No,
yeah,
like
it wasn't that cool.
That's not what we're meaning.
No, a game. Like I'm playing Zelda and Link is a real me. And the world is real. The grass is real.
Why would you want that?
The trees are real. Because it's the next. Why do we want graphics to look like real life when we can have real life?
Okay,
but then we're just living. Oh God!
Let's talk about what's
now
driving.
Creating the Matrix.
Yeah.
No,
Josh just created the Matrix. We're all gonna die.
No,
batteries.
Listen, it's all like picture. Like you could easily like do like living stop motion basically in order to get all these and use like real grass instead of graphics. I mean,
they already kind of do that with a lot of stuff, and that's an old technology. I don't think that's driving forward like.
No, I was just ripping gaming at all. Thing,
but... here's let's talk about real world examples of like what's happening right now, like what's giving games and game consoles the competitive edge past graphics, right? The main thing they're pushing right now. No.
Helping or hurting, Josh?
Fuck me, not gameplay.
No, not gameplay. No. Frame rate. And what was the other one I was going to mention? Frame rate and I had two. I mentioned them earlier when we were talking about this. Frame rate's a big one. Let's talk about frame rate real quick.
Talk about frame rate.
Like that
because
one's
there's a lot of interesting, I'll say differing opinions on frame rate.
Oh, the other one I was going to say was resolution. So like
Resolution.
4K,
Okay, yep,
right?
yep,
Frame rate
yes.
and resolution. Those are the big ones right now.
And they go hand in hand.
And they don't. Well, they do and they don't, right? I think they cater to two different audiences.
They often come up in the same conversation.
Right, because they cater to two different audiences, right? All the like hardcore gamers out there, the sweaties, the competitives, they're in it for the frame rate.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. It gives them a competitive edge. It makes things feel more smooth. In games like shooters, it reduces like motion sickness, like things like that.
Yes.
In VR, which I think is another thing that should be noted, is another progression past graphics that might be, where the industry goes, which I don't think it will, but frame rate's
enough people are
super
turned off by that it's probably not gonna.
Sure. But frame rate's super important for that as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas the resolution that caters more towards like the high end crowd, the people that want to have just like a more cinematic and beautiful experience when they're playing their video games, rather than just having that silky smooth. And I think the answer lies, in the middle. Personally, I enjoy, like now it's hard for me to, because I've become so accustomed to it. It's hard for me to play games under 60 frames per second. But I like my games looking delicious, so like
I think there has to be like a it has to look good under its requirements. Like I hate when like they try, like the PS2 and like that era is like a prime example of games that don't hold up very well, like graphically, because they like tried to push the, you know what I mean? They tried to push to land.
I 100% disagree. 100% disagree.
I don't know that I agree with you either, Josh.
Yeah, have you seen any of the games that I've recently?
Look up any character on a PS2.
Josh, I'm telling you, I've recently been streaming PS2 games for Samurai Saturday. I played a bunch of them and they look fucking great. They look really good, for the time. Like, I mean, they even when you upscale the resolution, when you upscale
this is what I'm trying to say. Yes. That's not what I'm trying to say though. I'm basically trying to say like you have to like utilize like there's a lot of old genres that try and push their like graphical limits to the max, and it doesn't hold up later on because
like Ocarina of Time.
You're not saying every game. You're just saying as a general.
I'm not even talking about these games specific. So like for example, yes, like those games, like to me, if you show me Grand Theft Auto on the PS2, I thought it looked atrocious then, and I think it looks horrible now.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. And like Ocarina of Time, fine. It doesn't hold up completely. But like games like Paper Mario do, because they made it
because of the stylized.
So I think there's a huge like we might see like capping of like beautiful graphics that are as possibly close to real life as possible. And then we're gonna see a lot of people probably like spreading out to other imaginative realms and like doing other creative types of graphics and not doing realism as much. Because like if you've done realism so much, it can only look so good. Maybe try other styles. And Nintendo's been doing that, but like it makes for a longer lasting.
Well, I think that's what makes Nintendo competitive at all, right? Like Mario looks so fucking good despite not being 4K, not being like super powerful graphics. Even Mario Kart, when it came out on the Wii U. Like Mario Kart 8 or whatever, it's looked so fucking good and still does. Breath of the Wild is one of the most gorgeous games going, and it doesn't hold up anywhere close to what like a PS5.
Yeah, but it looks so damn good just because it's within its like realm of capabilities.
Look at some of our favorite games of the year.
Zach, what
were
you
some of our favorite games of the year, like Naruto Boy and Cyber Shadow.
Naruto Boy, exactly what I'm saying. Like
those absolute favorite games of the year so far. And they're extremely stylized. They're not using your high render.
Exactly.
I think this is a different discussion though, because now we're getting into which is better, or which is a better style, like ultra realistic graphics or like something beautiful and artistic.
I'm just saying, I think we're going to start to see a change where like you could only be so beautiful and realistic, and like people are going to get tired of that. I feel like.
But
and we're gonna start seeing more Cuphead shit, and we're gonna see
the
more like
essence
off
of
the
the
wall
question
stuff.
is, though, not, you know, what's a better style to make a game in. It's more what's gonna drive gaming
I think
forward
we're gonna
past
cap.
just graphics.
That's what I'm saying. Graphics is we're gonna cap. We're not gonna rely on how beautiful a game is anymore. We're gonna rely on other things.
That's
If
what I'm trying to
gameplay
get
caps,
across, yeah.
then gaming will die.
Dude,
If
we've had
we,
this discussion
you know what I mean?
since 3D first started in gaming, right? Like when
Yeah.
the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn all first came out, like that shit was mind-blowing to all of us. But I even remember when I was young, like whatever, 10 years old, 11 years old when those came out, having those discussions with my friends like, is it better because the graphics are better? Like, no, it certainly isn't.
No.
Like a lot of the games
True.
that I enjoyed more, you know, were better because they have better gameplay, you know, like
if
not
newer
because the
games are
graphics.
better, that's one
Yeah,
thing.
in
But I
fact,
feel like
like
we're getting
I think particularly with like the GameCube era, you had a lot of games that were relying way too much on graphics and not enough on gameplay. So you know, and that's a problem that's always
true.
going to exist, you know. But
Well, game companies are always trying to make. I mean, I feel like a lot of game companies these days try to be Hollywood.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Paul, you and I have talked many times about that game was a good
PlayStation.
movie.
PlayStation.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
PlayStation.
PlayStation's
Like
really
some of
bad
their
about it.
some of their
Microsoft is too,
franchises
though.
are indiscernible.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft is bad too. I've talked in the past about how they shoehorned Dave Bautista in instead of Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
no, that's not correct. So, again, I don't think that's what's driving the industry forward.
I don't think it's what's driving the industry forward either, but like traditionally what has like been, even still, like when we go out to, you know, build a computer, we're looking for the best possible graphics card. We're not looking for the, you know, the one that does pixel
we
art
can
the
afford.
best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
right.
When you go to buy a PlayStation, or an Xbox, you're like, which one's gonna, you know, push more voxels? Like you're looking for something like what's gonna be the most powerful. You know, that's in a lot of people's minds what they're looking for, right? Obviously there's exceptions, like Nintendo doesn't even give a single F about that, but like but most, like as far as gaming is concerned, while graphics don't make the game, they still have been the driving force behind, you know, progress in gaming, period. So now that we're starting to hit that cap, where does it go from there? To me, it's performance, right?
It's got to be performance. Now, when I was in college, I had some classmates. I wasn't part of the actual research group myself, but I believe their finding was it was like some bioengineering students. They were examining the effect of frame rate on the human eye, and they determined, and again, this was over 10 years ago at this point, so that this research may be null and void, and it may be completely wrong. I don't know. I'm hearing this secondhand, and it was a long time ago. That they determined that the human eye can perceive about 60 frames per second. Now, gaming these days is way beyond that in most cases.
Yeah.
Paul, what was the figure you gave me before we recorded or before we went live?
I mean, I can tell the difference between like 120 frames per second and 60 frames per second any day of the week. You know,
right. And I think that holds true for most of us. So it got me thinking.
Go ahead.
Is that like a hybrid supercar? Okay. That's a bit of an out there metaphor, but if you think about I think it's a Ferrari, has a hybrid motor that it doesn't drive it like a Prius. It fills in the gaps between firings of the gasoline powered motor. So that you can maintain your revs and you can maintain your power and your speed throughout the entire motor cycle. So I'm wondering if the human eye, maybe there is a threshold, whether it's 60 frames per second or not, that the human eye can perceive. And really those higher frame rates are just filling in the gaps and making things easier for us to perceive that.
So maybe, and like, as far as like when it comes to streaming video games and such, you're kind of right. Like, for instance, if I'm doing a live stream at 30 frames per second, it's still more valuable for me to play my game at 60 frames per second because of that, exactly what you're talking about. Those like filling in the gap, like in between frames, whatever, you know,
Right.
and it will just still look cleaner, even though like it's a higher frame rate. The sync of it may be off. If I'm playing at 30 frames per second, I might be missing a frame here and also missing a frame in my stream at the same time, so it'll look a little extra choppy, right?
Extra
choppy. And I think that's kind of what
exactly.
you're saying.
That is exactly
to my understanding of it, and I've watched a lot of videos on this, I don't think the human eye has a frame rate, right? Like there's a certain there's like a threshold of like how quickly your brain can perceive motion, but there's not like a set, like there's no like rhythm or frequency that like, you know, that we're seeing, you know, that's just not how it works. It's like a constant flow. So
so the higher we can, so bring that back to the topic, the higher we go with frame rate, the if that is the case, the better the gaps are filled, the better we are able to perceive the image in front of us, and the closer we can get to reality. At the end of the day, when you're playing games, even if you're sitting on a curved monitor, you're still seeing a 3D projection on a 2D plane. And you know, that can only be so good. It can never be exactly the same as the real world, because the real world is three-dimensional.
Unless you're in VR, which, by the way, there's been some pretty cool PS5 VR rumors. I don't know the details on those, but I know a lot of people are freaking out about that.
But even VR, Paul, is the same thing. It's still a screen. There's still a screen in there, and so it's still a 3D projection.
I mean, it's stereoscopic.
That your eyes are then tricking your eyes into perceiving as 3D.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I get motion sick. I know that for sure. But,
yeah, for sure. Frame rate helps with that, though, a lot.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Lately, I've definitely been able to last longer in a VR headset. I also don't like things on my face, so that's
me neither. Yeah, so. Me neither. Anything else? Is there any?
What about VR though? Is VR, you know, gonna push things forward?
It's not casual enough.
Yeah,
it's not casual enough. Yeah,
that's the thing. I agree with you. I think VR is very cool, and like if you try on a VR set, or you could talk someone into trying on a VR set, you could probably sell them on it, right? But most people just aren't going to do that, you know.
Well, it's the nominal fee, the extra fee.
Yeah, and that's the big problem, right? But it's certainly still becoming more popular. Like it's slowly growing, right? Like people are buying those Oculus Quests and whatever. But you know,
we're getting there.
It's still so far behind like mainstream gaming that like I don't know that we're gonna see that big of a jump in the future. We'll see what happens with the new PSVR. That was the highest selling VR set for the previous generation, right? So I think probably the new Oculus devices are probably surpassing that at this point, but like who knows what's going to happen with this new one. Do I think it's ever gonna be like our main way to consume video games? Absolutely not, you know?
No, as much as, you know, Futurama would like us to think that's going to be the way of the future, it just,
I mean, we all want Ready Player One, or what was that anime, Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to die in the headset, but
it didn't end well for them.
It didn't end well for some of them, but like that's rad. Like that's the technology, like, because like Josh, what you were saying, right? Where like you're in the video game, right?
Exactly.
Like that's kind of what we want. But how realistic is that in our lifetimes? Probably very unrealistic. I don't think we're going to see that.
Definitely not in our lifetime.
So
no holograms and shit. No, some Rick and Morty shit.
Holograms.
Some Rick and Morty shit.
Are a thing. Yeah. I think holograms. We have holograms now. I think we see playable holograms. 10 years probably.
Dude, I mean, they did. What was the Microsoft Lens
hologram TVs? Wait for it. Like, dude, hologram TVs that are like in a table. 20 years, 10, 15 years.
So
it's crazy how fast technology is moving.
Okay, so Josh, 10 years from now, I challenge you to Dejuric.
Dude, 10 years ago, they had the Microsoft HoloLens. What is
that? It's the game from the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yes.
Just don't play with Wookiee. Yeah.
You could probably play that now.
So there are augmented reality devices like the Microsoft HoloLens, like the what was the Google Glass. None of these have really, none of these have really kicked off yet. Though Microsoft did a demonstration with the HoloLens at E3 actually. I want to say like 9 or 10 years ago, where they were playing Minecraft on a table, and it was fucking rad. Like, it was so cool. And I think that if that technology is ever implemented correctly or well
and affordably availably,
I think it's going to replace TVs. I think it's going to replace, like, because here's the thing. I could have as big of a fucking screen as I have wall space with these glasses on, right?
But not only that, it makes it a game again. It makes it a game again. Like, literally, you're playing in front of a TV. Okay, you're locked out from whatever with your headset on. You fucking say, let's play a game. You clear off the table and press a button, and it goes, and you build a city together or whatever. Now you're playing Mario, like the two of you in 3D. Like, that's so much better.
That'd be so cool.
That makes gaming.
Okay, so there's our call.
That's the thing.
That's our call, right?
I've been saying augmented reality for a long time.
Properly implemented AR. And Paul and I were talking before the show about how
hologram kind of.
Paul and I were talking before the show about how Pokemon Go kind of fell apart. And it had a lot of potential. I do have some friends who still play it. And play it voraciously. Like, they're probably in better shape than I am right now because they're out walking
around.
Catching those Pikachu.
I can certainly, outrun or outbike them, but anyway.
It's not a competition, Zach.
I know. That's my high school track background. I probably can't swim them. But no, but like, if they did, if we get properly done AR that can just adapt so that you don't have to clear things out, Josh.
That replaces everything, dude. That replaces board games. That replaces video games. That replaces TV. Everything. That replaces everything. I feel like that is holotech, like straight up.
It is, and that's fun. Like,
they just need good versions, like the ones that they've put out or that they've done testing for. Microsoft, Google, like, it just hasn't been good. I'm pretty sure actually Apple's working on one right now.
You basically map your room. You would like the most optimal version would be like mapping your room with like these diodes that could like link and like create like a hologram field, or like a shitty version. The earliest versions would probably be like literally like a table that has like a screen that just like projects up. But
if I could put a D&D game on the table that's behind me,
godly,
that would be so dope.
Exactly, and that if it eliminated, and then you could put a movie on and just like go and like throw it in the air, like just a flat screen.
So like, I'm Tony Stark over here.
You can still play 2-dimensional like media if you want, and play old games and stuff like that in 2D. But you can also play new content, like the new Mario would literally be like he's on this 3D
walking around the map and watching Mario.
Walking around the map, like looking at the map. My dog is in the background, and like, you know what I mean, like
Okay, so
and the map builds itself over the dog.
I'm gonna put this link in chat so you guys can check it out. But like, this is, I guess this was from E3 2015, so I was off a couple years.
6 years ago.
But if you look at that, like, watch what they're doing with the HoloLens. You might need to skip here. I'll tell you when to skip to. Skip to about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, or 44 seconds in. And you'll see what they're doing with Minecraft with the HoloLens on, and this shit's incredible. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, this technology exists. I just think that like the field of view is very small and shitty. I think like frame rates and power that they're able to produce with it is not very big. Not very good. So that's got to improve a lot. Being able to like make this compact computing power with this, isn't this incredible?
That is incredible.
Yeah.
If they can get stuff like that, that is absolutely what I'm talking about.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Wow, Josh, this is literally exactly what you were saying.
Wait, where?
Did you not see the link in chat?
I'm seeing it, but then okay, like I'm at 2
minutes and 40 seconds in.
2 minutes, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Yeah. The real good stuff's at like 3 minutes in.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
This was E3 2015, man.
So 6 years later, like, we should have that by now.
Yeah.
Just saying. Microsoft, where's that at? Come on. You want something to be on Game Pass? Give us that.
I feel like you shouldn't need goggles for this soon. Like, I don't know.
That's another story.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
We'll see. Anyway, any final thoughts on that, boys? Any final?
I love it. That's amazing.
I'm glad. I love that we arrived at a conclusion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good.
That is it. That's it.
That's
All
it.
right.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
If you guys are watching us live, you are on
Thanks.
my Twitch channel. It is Ryugami-san, Twitch
That's
TV,
his name.
whatever the whole business is. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and share our stuff. Sharing is the most important to us. Very, very helpful. And I typically stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I'll do Samurai Saturdays on those days. Always a Samurai game. Lots of fun. I do have a special stream coming up. A week from Tuesday is my birthday. I'm going to stream most of the day. My brother's going to be here. We're going to do some N64 stuff. We're going to do a whole bunch of fun stuff. So might have some drop-ins, from, some of the cast here. We'll see what we can do. We're going to try and plan some of that out, but it should be a lot of fun. If you want to yell at me on Twitter, at Ryugami-sama is where you can find me there. Josh, where can we find you, man?
Yes, Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my blips. And maybe I'll stop it on that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I ain't got much else going on. Yes, I'm going to become a Mario Golf champion soon. Yes,
he's working on being
Josh for number one. Let's go.
I will keep you guys posted on my world status.
Wait, yeah, professional Mario. Yeah, PMGA.
PMGA.
Oh.
I'm going to go to the PMGA.
Lord Yeshua.
Yeah.
Zach.
I'm on Twitch at Another Letdown. I'll be live definitely Thursday and Saturday this week, but I think I'm also going to be live tomorrow and Tuesday because I've got days off. And I think tomorrow I'm going to do Sentinels of Freedom, the Sentinel Comics game, and because Blink in chat requested it. I really want to play that. I've wanted to play that since it came out. And then Tuesday I'm going to play Space Marine because I have not. It's a Gears-like and it's easy. And it'll be a good review, fun little tangent for us. And then I'll be back to Batman on the Thursday and miniatures painting on Saturday.
Excellent.
And Adam has moved, so maybe he's joining us again soon. It'll be either probably this week, next week, somewhere in there.
I talked to him today, and he's like, "We haven't really settled in."
Yeah, I know they haven't, but it'll be soon. It'll be soon. I know he wants to come back, so
yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Anyway, have an awesome night. Thank you guys once again. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
See you guys.